Have you ever been in a conversation where you suddenly feel irritated, confused, or even a little embarrassed, and you can't explain why? Maybe you shared something honest and the other person jumped in to correct your wording, or they offered feedback you didn't ask for. And now you feel thrown off, annoyed at how much it bothers you, and even a little lost in your own thoughts. You start thinking, why did that bug me so much? Am I overreacting? Why can't I get back on track? And do they even see me right now? If that sounds familiar, stay with me because by the end of this video, you're going to understand exactly what's happening in the moment like this, why your body reacts the way it does, and how to respond with a calm, clear limit that honors your needs without spiraling into self doubt, confusion, or shutdown. Once you see the pattern, you can't unsee it. What you're feeling might be the impact of something called emotional delegation. Emotional delegation is when someone tries to manage their discomfort by managing your words, actions, thoughts, or feelings, pretty much your domain. Instead of regulating themselves, they ask you to shift who you're so they can feel better within their own bodies. This is why you feel suddenly off, confused, silenced, embarrassed, or t- very irate. It's very possible you might find that you're like all of a sudden get really upset. And before we go any further, I want to speak directly to anyone who lives outside the default scripts, whether you're queer, polyamorous, neurodivergent, gender expansive, kinky, or someone who has had to carve out who you are without a roadmap. This dynamic we're talking about hits differently for us, doesn't it? Because when you live even slightly outside mainstream expectations, you've already spent years being asked to adjust your tone, translate your identity, soften your edges, explain yourself, or shrink your truth so someone else can stay comfortable. So when someone corrects your words, questions your emotional process, or suggests a better way for you to think or feel, it just lands as simply feedback. It lands inside a lifetime of being told you're too much, you're confusing, you're too emotional, you're doing it wrong. For people who are queer, polyamorous, or identity expansive, emotional delegation can feel like a subtle replay of the message. If you were different, I'd feel more comfortable. That can make you feel misunderstood, out of place, and even alone. There is nothing wrong with how you speak, feel, process, or make sense of the world. What feels odd or misunderstood is usually not you. It's someone else's limited capacity for discomfort. Your job isn't to make yourself easier to digest. Your job is to stay connected to yourself, even when someone else struggles to meet you there. And the tools we're about to talk about will help you do exactly that. So let's do it. Here are the three underlying psychological patterns happening beneath the surface. Number one, taking responsibility for someone else's emotions. The other person feels uncomfortable and hands that emotional labor to you, often disguised as feedback or help. Number two, projecting their discomfort onto your process. Your emotions activate something in them, so they shift the focus to what you should change. They appear caring, but the care is a smokescreen for avoiding their own emotional work. These three mechanisms are what make emotional delegation feel so confusing and disorientated. Here are the three most common forms it takes. Number one, controlling your words. It might sound like, I think that word is too heavy. Use this one instead, it feels better. Number two, controlling your actions. If you did it this way, you'd get a better result. You really should change how you're doing it so that you can feel more light. Number three, controlling how you think or feel. If you reframed it, you wouldn't feel that way. Try thinking about it differently. Each one shifts the emotional burden away from them and onto you. Maybe they're starting off and feeling uncomfortable with the situation, and they're not saying, instead, they're like, hey, I know you want to go to X, Y, and Z, but I know if I'm there, you might feel uncomfortable. So I won't go if you feel uncomfortable. But they never say anything about how they feel, what they want. That's usually the telltale sign in all of this. They use a lot of yous and usually tell you how to do something. And you're like, hang on, I don't remember ever asking. That wasn't even the topic at hand. You get hit over the head and turned in their direction so that you can focus on taking care of their emotions. You're opening up to your friend and you say, I'm trying to sit with what's coming up without rushing past it. And your friend jumps in, oh, instead of sit with it, maybe say, lean into it. It sounds more empowering. If you say sit into it, it's like you're stuck. So you want to feel like you're going into it. Your truth activated their discomfort in some. And instead of sitting with it, they corrected you. And that's emotional delegation. A lot of the time, it comes with a lot of emotion hidden underneath because they're not saying, hey, I'm feeling a lot of discomfort. When you say sit with it, it really makes me feel stuck. I feel tense in my body and I'm not quite sure. I'm curious. Words are words, right? And it might be true, might not be true, doesn't really matter. Most likely, you are just talking and wanting to be heard. And that's part of this equation. So we're going to go to three signs. First, you're in emotional delegation. This is how you'll know. Number one, you leave the conversation feeling confused about yourself, but clear about them. Their comfort rises, like they're feeling better, but you're not feeling so great. And probably whatever you were talking about just got turned around into something else. Number two, you start editing, rehearsing, and softening your words. You start tiptoeing around them to manage their emotional capacity. Your expression becomes protection instead. Number three, their feedback centers what feels good for them, not what's true for you. Those two might be completely different. We are all very different. And being able to recognize that and be compassionate toward that is so important. Your emotional experience becomes kind of a background noise. A lot of the time, we're so self centered, it's really about us. If you notice you're doing this or someone else is, there's three ways to manage your emotions. Whether you're delegating or someone is delegating onto you, these tools help you stay grounded so you can see what's actually happening. Number one is practice mindful naming. This is discomfort. Name what's going on inside of you. I can allow it without fixing anything. I can just be here with it. Even name it out loud. This interrupts the impulse to control someone else's experience. So if you're on the other side and you're the one trying to control the situation because you're feeling really uncomfortable in the moment, and you notice, oh, I wasn't really listening to them. Instead, I was trying to either fix them or tell them what to be or pretend I know more than they do. If you just say, hey, hang on, I need to take a moment for myself. I have some real discomfort with whatever's being talked about. Can you allow for me to just take this moment and breathe through it? I would like to be here for you. In order to be here for you, I have to not be in this place. And that's what's happening for me right now. Sometimes we can do it without talking about it. Sometimes we have to say, hey, I just need a moment. My capacity is way more depleted than I realized. And you might not even be able to come back. That is okay. Be like, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to come back. And then I'll have some awareness of what's happening with me. It might take 30 minutes. It might take 10 minutes. It might take 5 minutes. It might take a whole day. It really matters upon what's happening internally. Number two, set a simple internal boundary. Tell yourself their feelings are theirs. My feelings are mine. When you are triggered, it's really hard to step back, to go, "Ooh, okay, that bothers me because I'm not heard." Or the other person might be, if you're the person who's trying to control whatever that person's saying, doing, being, then it could be like, "Oh, wow, I'm noticing that these are my feelings and it's actually not about what's happening." And that's really hard to do because it's very easy when we're like, I don't like that. But to be like, there's something in me that's having a really hard time with this. I need a moment. I don't want to take it out on you. This keeps emotional labor from spilling across the boundary lines because your emotions are yours and there are theirs. We can share them, we can discuss them, but owning them has to happen first in order to have that real domain. So, number three, regulate before responding. Take one very slow breath, feel your seat, get yourself in the moment, feel the body sensations, and then respond from clarity, not urgency. And this might not happen in the moment. This is practice. Breathing is the first thing you can practice. And that might be as far as you can go. This time, next time, it'll be breathing and then going, I'm right here. Maybe you're talking on the phone. Maybe you want to look around. Put yourself in the place, in your body, in your feet, in your seat. Breathe, taste something in your mouth, smell something, do all the sensations. Get yourself back here in the body. And then your third one is respond with clarity, not urgency. What is clarity? Naming the feeling for yourself first. To say, okay, my body's tense. Hey, my body's feeling really tense right now. That tenseness is bringing up a lot of hurt feelings right here in my chest and solar plexus and my throat. This gives you the power back, whether you're the one over functioning, trying to help the other person feel better, or the one being pulled into someone else's emotional load. Overfunctioning might be both trying to control and fix what's happening with the other person. The reality might be that they're actually fine. I mean, they might not be, but you're not fine. Maybe you're not fine. And you're trying to fix that so that you feel good. That might be overfunctioning, but by doing that, you're actually making the same thing happen in return in a different way. This gives you your power back when you practice naming the discomfort. Stop the flow, stop the pace for a moment. Set a simple internal boundary. Oh, their feelings are theirs, mine is mine. Okay, what are mine? Regulate your responding before responding. Regulate yourself. Take one slow breath, feel your seat, get present, get into your senses, and then respond with clarity. Name what's happening with you. Give yourself a pause. And this gives you your power back, whether you are the one over functioning or being pulled into someone else's emotional load. You might be like, oh, they're having an emotional experience. I feel like I'm being pulled into their emotional load. And how I deal with that is by fixing it and giving them guidance and trying to control it. And then the other person senses that, shuts down, or does whatever they do. They might start yelling. They might have a fight response. They might have whatever response it is. And then they'll start, if they have a fawning response or a freeze response, eventually they might start tiptoeing around you, right? They might feel like they're being pulled in someone else's emotional load, your emotional load, because they're like, I can't have my own experience without having to fix myself to take care of them. right? So both of you are going to feel this way. I have a confidence coming out course. It's called The Liar Moment, Leaving Intuition Abandoned Repetitively. And it's part of the familiar framework that I teach. Your intuition whispered, this feels off. And that's your intuition, right? But your conditioning says, don't rock the boat, adjust for them because you feel uncomfortable when they feel uncomfortable. And it ends up being this codependent swap. Spotting emotional delegation is how you stop abandoning yourself in real time. 3 short steps to spot it in real time. Number 1, ask, do I feel clearer or more self doubt? Number 2, notice if you're editing or shrinking your words. Your body always knows first. If you feel that retraction, that's probably, yes, I am editing and shrinking. Number 3, name the moment. I think I just picked up their feelings and made them mine. Naming it is power. If this resonated, download the free confidence toolkit and start tracking even one moment this week where you soften yourself, adjust your expression, lose your clarity, or feel off after a conversation. Those moments are your map back to your intuition, your boundaries, and your confidence.